was up all night last night. Couldn't sleep a wink. I just can't stop sleuthing over these freaking Epstein files, man. And I think I've discovered something that I'm just shocked that the mainstream media isn't talking about. Yeah, I was just all night, I was tossing and turning and just thinking about this one haunting thing that I found about cream cheese. I just so happened to find this particular email containing what appears at first glance to be just a normal lunch menu. Yeah, cream cheese, bagels, fish, a bunch of stuff. Sounds pretty good, I gotta say. But stay with me, let's dig deeper. So as you can see, this is April of 2015. Epstein, through his assistant, is planning a lunch with legendary writer, director, and clarinetist Woody Allen and his wife, Soon-Yi Previn. 2015 would have been Irrational Man era Woody. You guys remember that one. But anyway, quick recap for the non-Woody heads here. So to paraphrase the great Norm Macdonald, Woody's movies are funny, but also his relationships are funny in a different sense. Like, not ha-ha funny, but odd funny. It's kind of funny. Let me explain. Woody Allen, the genius mind behind Sleeper, married the adopted daughter of his girlfriend, now ex-girlfriend. He didn't literally marry his own daughter, but in a way, that's kind of what it feels like he did. But in another way, it's like he just married some random, unrelated woman who was much younger than him. But it feels more like the first one. It's odd, funny. And yeah, he was accused of molesting another different adopted daughter of that same ex-girlfriend. But that may or may not have just been a messy lie from the breakup. And judges have said there's no evidence of this, but yeah, who knows? And in fact, the other children have accused the mom, his ex, not Woody, of abuse and lying. It's complicated. And yeah, Soon-Yi was 21 at the time and consented. So that was for sure dating, not molesting. But dating an adult was kind of like your daughter. I mean, the moment he broke up with her mom, she was no longer his daughter. I mean, she never was, but she went from almost nearly one step over the daughter line to being firmly in just wife territory. So she was never fully his daughter, but Woody and that ex did have full, literal children together, both biological and adopted. They had their own children, and yeah, you can't date those ones. But also his ex already had 7 relatively more eligible children from before they had started dating with the previous husband. And I say children, but she was an adult. Are you following me? She, Woody's ex, broke up with him because she found out that he was cheating on her with their daughter. Sorry, her daughter. She was one of the 7 that were his wife's old daughters. Sorry, I mean his girlfriend co-parent's daughter. I mean, yeah, he met her as a child, but waited until she was an adult to start dating his adult child. Sorry, I mean her adult child. Her child was an adult. If they had ever gotten married, then it would have been his stepdaughter. And you can't marry your stepdaughter. Oh no, that's detestable. Despite having children together. Remember, they were never married, so I think he gets away with it. And of course, there's no blood relation at all since she was adopted. His wife. I mean, his half-step adopted daughter wife. She's Korean. Soon-Yi.
It's hard to believe that you haven't had sex for 200 years.
204 if you count my marriage.
So Woody's son is now also his brother-in-law, okay? Any questions? So it's just sort of an odd puzzle. Pretty weird and bad, but maybe also fine, legally speaking. But weird, but it's not a crime. But I certainly wouldn't want my dad to do that. Mostly just sort of funny. Anyway, so Woody and Soon-Yi, happily married all these years later, are invited to their buddy Jeffrey Epstein's for lunch. And remember, this is 2015, so in between Jeff's first arrest for having sex with children and his second arrest for sex trafficking children, okay? And so here's the part that I just can't get out of my head. We learn in the files that for their meal, for this lunch with Epstein, they decide to have a, quote, Jewish spread for lunch. Herring, rye, shrimp, pickles, tuna fish salad, smoked salmon, and of course, bagels and cream cheese. But here's the thing that kept me up all night, tormented. This Jewish spread was Soon Yi's request. Quote, Soon Yi would like a Jewish spread for lunch. Soon Yi requested it. Really? Not Woody? Wow, I mean, Woody and Epstein are famously both choosy New York Jews. And just to be clear, Soon Yi spent the first 7 years of her life in South Korea and then was raised by Catholics. So I just haven't been able to sleep because I just keep wondering, is she requesting the Jewish spread just to appease her husband and Jeff? Or has she genuinely been converted to Jewish cuisine after all these years? I don't know. I hope it's not racist to say, but I assume she has formative childhood memories of the flavor palettes of tteokbokki, leek pancakes, yang yum chicken, bibimbap. I don't know. Hey, maybe I'm just unfairly boxing people in. Listen, of course, yeah, I know everybody has their own taste. I'm just saying, Korean food is arguably the greatest cuisine on earth. And even if she doesn't identify with her Korean ancestry, or she doesn't like Korean food, in New York City, you can get whatever kind of food you want. So I just can't sleep wondering about the possibility that maybe Jewish food is actually S tier alongside Korean food. And I kind of realized that a good bagel with cream cheese is on the same level as yang yum chicken. And that's why I love New York City. Folks, we've talked a lot about Italian food on this channel. We've discussed Thai-inspired jerky recipes, but just sort of to complete that trilogy, today we're talking about the cuisine of European Ashkenazi Jewish immigrants to America. Yes, guys, in New York City, you can get any kind of food you want. Queens is like a better real-life version of Epcot, where every few blocks you have an authentic, world-class restaurant from immigrant chefs straight from every corner of the planet. There's Italian restaurants, Thai restaurants, and yeah, Jewish restaurants. Guys, Jewish people have food too. When Jews immigrated to the city from Eastern Europe some 100-odd years ago, they brought with them their cuisine. And taking inspiration from the melting pot that is New York City, that's how we arrived at many of the greatest foods of all time, including bagels and cream cheese. If you live in Europe today, well, y'all fucked up. Most of y'all either expelled or holocausted all of your Jews, and now you're stuck eating whatever the hell this is. You poor bastards who've never tried an authentic Jewish New York City bagel, you are sincerely missing out on that salty, chewy, tangy, creamy, smoky, malty, toasty explosion of flavor that is bagels and cream cheese. I love bagels and cream cheese, but I do not love sex trafficking. Jeffrey Epstein, however, loved both of those things. And this was made quite clear in the DOJ's release of the Epstein files. I mean, we already knew about the sex trafficking part, but now we know about his crimes and his food preferences. I mean, yeah, I probably could have told you that Epstein liked bagels and cream cheese before the files came out. I mean, not to be stereotypical, but I mean, yeah, he's a New York Jew, guys. He likes bagels. I mean, who doesn't like bagels? But in the new files, we finally really now get a sense of, like, if he preferred everything or plain. He prefers everything. Exactly which flavors of cream cheese he likes. He likes scallion. Which toppings he goes for. It's lox. And which specific delis they patronize. It's Russ and Daughters and Barney Greengrass. Delis, if you don't know, historically were essentially just like Jewish restaurants, in the same sense that our taquerias here in LA are like Mexican restaurants, colloquially speaking. New York delis were a cultural import of Eastern European Jews who fled the pogroms of Europe with their salty boiled bread Tauruses. And yes, in virtually every grocery list for LSJ, every brunch with Woody and Soon Yi, every gift box for Noam Chomsky, bagels and cream cheese are gonna make an appearance, no doubt. But what if I told you they're not talking about cream cheese at all? No, when they say cream cheese, they really mean the flesh of little babies.
Now, another code word that's come up that people think is very creepy is cream cheese. This one is dark.
And it's talking about vegetable cream cheese. Vegetable cream cheese.
Reading through these Epstein files here, and I don't know why they are talking about cream cheese so much. Like it's a code for something?
Sorry about today with the vegetable cream cheese. What could vegetable cream cheese mean? Could mean vegetable cream cheese. Vegetable cream cheese.
Cream cheese baby.
Cream cheese baby.
Cream cheese baby, okay?
Cream cheese babies.
Watch, just check this out. If we just replace the term cream cheese with baby flesh, suddenly these emails reveal their true nature. For example, this one, quote, "What would you like for breakfast tomorrow? Salmon, baby flesh, bagels, berries, eggs. Aha, you see? Epstein was eating baby flesh." Actually, as I'm reading this back again, no, that doesn't make any sense. Sorry, yeah, no, strike that from the record, guys. No, he wasn't, cream cheese doesn't mean baby flesh. He wasn't eating baby flesh. I don't know why I just said that. I think I may have just had a stroke or something, actually. But in case you guys haven't heard, people with undiagnosed mental disorders, like me, all across the internet are right now typing in and searching every food word they can think of in the Epstein files.
Pizza, beef jerky, ice cream, some of the sinister and unexplained phrases that have come up in the Epstein files thousands of times.
And pretty much without fail, every single time they're convinced they discovered a secret demonic code word for cannibalism, presumably, since they're using it in the context of food. But no, there's no food code words. These people just, have undiagnosed mental disorders or are just lying for clicks. I don't know. Epstein did not use secret food codes or consume the flesh of babies, coded or uncoded. If you want to know what Epstein actually did, I made a 3.5 hour video on that, so we're not gonna go over it again. But yeah, Epstein did some really bad things, but like Bill Cosby bad, not Joseph Mengele bad, just to keep things in perspective. But let's talk for a moment about what Epstein did not do. Let me just catch you up a little bit on the fan fiction here. So I keep getting comments on my last videos from dumbasses like this guy who are like, why would Epstein keep talking about pizza parties? This commenter confidently told me that in the Epstein files, it was revealed that Epstein talked about these pizza parties hundreds of times. But actually, no, I checked, and guess how many times Epstein actually talked about a pizza party? Go ahead, guess. The answer is 0. It never happened, guys. Total hallucination. When you search the term pizza party, you get about 90 things. And again, at least half of these are just duplicates. And none of these messages, none, involve Epstein at all. He's not in the threads. They're all just from like his staff talking about their children in youth sports leagues having pizza parties and stuff like that. With all the duplicates and multiple references to the same soccer league pizza party, there's probably about 3 or 4 actual unique pizza parties that some children of Epstein's employees participated in, discussed in millions of documents covering thousands of people. And that's it. Epstein had nothing to do with those. When Epstein abused the girls, he just called them girls, guys. He called them sexy 19-year-old Brazilians. And yeah, just real quick, this was a 19-year-old Brazilian that he trafficked and abused under the guise of being a model scout, not a 9-year-old girl, as Congress people have gone on television saying.
When you read through these files and you read about 15-year-old girls, 14-year-old girls, 10-year-old girls. I saw mention of a 9-year-old girl today.
But like, I don't blame him. It's these fucking dipshits at the DOJ who organized this mess. Half of the emails have like random characters changed to the equal signs. Somebody who's good with computers can explain to me why that happened, but the result is that this email really does look like it says sexy 9-year-old. But no, again, because we have duplicates of everything, we can see another version of this same email without the formatting glitch. It's 19, guys. There is no evidence of any 9-year-old victim at all. Remember, Epstein was a grade B pedophile, not a grade A pedophile. But that's reality. So back to the fan fiction. So pizza means baby, beef jerky means baby jerky, and cream cheese also means I don't even know. Baby, what? Baby body flesh, I guess?
Cream cheese and babies, and consuming both of them. And they're both, it seems like they both partaken in the consumption of babies.
A creamy cannibal baby body spread that you would still put on a bagel? I haven't heard any decodes of bagel yet, so, but yeah, I think if cream cheese is gonna be a secret code word, we kind of have to have bagels be one too, right? Or no, they're just eating babies on actual bagels. Like instead of cream cheese, it's just baby spread, but they still call it cream cheese? Maybe. But no, I read all 211 files that come up when you search cream cheese. And yeah, it's clearly not a fucking code word for anything. He was never like, ooh, that baby must have been extra adrenalized because this cream cheese is delicious. No, every single one of these emails is just like grocery list. Please get bagels, low fat, vegetable cream cheese with chive, smoked salmon. Of all of the hallucinated food code things, the cream cheese one has been the most elusive to me. I just don't get this one at all. But I guess maybe this hysteria is kind of different though, because yeah, maybe cream cheese is not a code word like pizza and beef, but instead, as this viral tweet claims, just that Epstein said babies taste like cream cheese. Ah, okay. Yeah, it makes a little more sense.
When babies eat milk, in their stomach it turns to a kind of cream cheese.
Eating baby flesh tastes like cream cheese because of the amount of their mother's milk in their system. I wish I was making this up.
So yeah, no, sorry. He is talking about literal cream cheese. He's just saying babies are so delicious that they taste like cream cheese. Okay, yeah, that's more fun. Wow, we finally have our first ever piece of evidence proving that Epstein is a cannibal. And it's just that he took a bite of a bagel and accidentally went, this is so good. Tastes like a baby. I mean, oops, haha, got him. That's a funny story, but there's two problems with this tweet. First, I cannot imagine that babies taste like cream cheese. I don't think that's the case. Babies are mammals, so they probably taste a lot more like veal or suckling pigs. You know, mammal babies. We do eat mammal babies. Cream cheese is dairy. It's milk-based. Totally different flavor profile. Totally different texture. And before you fucking comment, yes, babies drink milk, but they don't taste like milk, okay? It's meat. It would taste like meat. Sorry. And second, I'm sorry, but Epstein never said this. He never said babies taste like cream cheese. Nope, didn't happen. Of all of the 100-odd unique uses of cream cheese in the files, there is just exactly one message that these idiots are pretending is evidence of satanic cannibalism in the context of cream cheese. Yeah, this Twitter idiot is referring to this particular email exchange. So Redacted writes, LOL, I don't know if cream cheese and baby are on the same level. And then Epstein responds, there are millions of babies, very little good vegetable cream cheese. And that's it. This exchange confuses people because we just don't have a lot more context. We don't know who this person is speaking to Epstein, and we don't know what was said immediately prior to this or what they're talking about at all. We've just barged in on a conversation midway through between at least one person we know nothing about. And this is how the food decode game works, by the way. Whenever you find these little moments where it's not immediately clear what they're talking about, dumbasses just jump in and go, look, so this must be a demonic cannibalism reference. Any vacuum of meaning immediately gets filled with the spookiest possible thing that Twitter can imagine. That is the free market of ideas on social media. But no, these messages are clearly a fucking joke, guys. It's either some inside joke between the two of them or something that would be obvious if we just saw the first email in this exchange. We don't know the setup to this joke, but clearly that is the punchline of it. A joke has two parts, a premise and a punchline. If you just hear the punchline, it's gonna sound confusing at first. And if you have schizophrenia and social media addiction, it's gonna sound like a confession of cannibalism every single time. To elucidate, just check this out, okay? Here's my stand-up comedy routine, okay? I'm getting older, folks. I'm like the only one of my friends who's still single. Yeah, all of my college buddies have gotten married and settled down, and it seems like everyone's just having babies. Everywhere I go, every social event, every lunch, every dinner, everybody's got a baby. But me, I'm focusing on the important things in life, like trying to find the best bagel spreads in the city. Yes, while all my friends are starting families, I'm just trying to find good cream cheese, you know what I mean, folks? I'm tired of this fucking bullshit grocery store Philadelphia shit. Where's the real gourmet stuff, huh? I've been searching high and low, but I simply can't find a good vegetable cream cheese. So from my perspective, I'm doing something more challenging and brave with my life. Yeah, babies are a dime a dozen, but a good cream cheese? That's a whole nother level. There's millions of babies, very little good vegetable cream cheese. And scene. I'm gonna keep workshopping it. We don't know the full context of Epstein's joke, but given the context we do have, my routine is certainly more or less the same jokey banter. Epstein and Redacted seem to be planning a brunch or something for the next day, but also seems like they're in Florida, so it's hard to find good cream cheese when you're that far from the city. So they settled by just going to get cream cheese at 2J's for their meal, a Jewish deli. And yeah, Jeff did not like the cream cheese from Publix. We've already tried it before. He got very upset about that situation. It's so hard to find good cream cheese in Florida, isn't it, guys? Babies everywhere. And that's the joke, guys. The joke is you don't eat babies. That's why it's funny. If they just said, hey, cream cheese is hard to find, but queso costeño is everywhere. Well, yeah, that's not really funny because it just accurately describes the different cheese situations between New York and Florida. Comparing babies to cream cheese is funny because of the absurdity. It's irreverent and subverts our expectations. You guys have heard of jokes, right? Alan, could you explain humor real quick?
The thing to remember about comedy is if it bends, it's funny. If it breaks, it's not funny. So you got to get back from the pain. See what I mean?
And again, I'm trying not to be stereotypical here, guys, but New York Jews are also kind of associated culturally with having a good sense of humor and telling jokes, right? Joking about cream cheese is very on brand here. Jewish culture has had a huge impact on American comedy ever since the days of vaudeville. Marx Brothers, Mel Brooks, Larry David, Wayne. You gotta give it to them, guys. Jews are funny, even the bad ones. Yes, Epstein did traffic and abuse girls, but he also cracked jokes along the way. Being charming was actually one of the ways he got away with it. Master manipulators like Epstein used their charm and their wit and their sense of humor to do really bad things. I think that complexity is what stumps so many people here. We need to be able to hold two thoughts at the same time. People can be funny and jokey and horrible. Take Epstein's best friend, Donald Trump. He makes me laugh every day, but also does very horrible things like dismantling our democracy, throwing children in concentration camps, and helping to cover up the crimes of Epstein's co-conspirators and the other people who had sex with the trafficked girls. Those are some of the worst things I've ever seen anyone do. But still, every time he gets up there on TV with his fucking makeup and starts dancing to the YMCA and doing one of his classic bits about windmills and boats, I can't help but be entertained. That doesn't make him raping people less bad, but hey, guys, we gotta be honest. The man can carry a reality TV episode. I'm not gonna lie about that just because he's also an anti-American corrupt pervert pig. He can be that and a good clown. If we're ever going to make sense of this crazy upside-down world we're in, we need to be able to understand both of these things. Bill Cosby was a comedic genius, one of the funniest people ever. But yeah, he also drugged and raped the unconscious bodies of dozens of women. Him doing the most disgusting, despicable, and heinous things imaginable doesn't mean that his old jokes aren't funny anymore. Of course, he shouldn't be working, he should be canceled, he should be ostracized, ostracized, he should be in jail, but it doesn't mean that we need to go back and pretend that To Russell, my brother whom I slept with, is now bad or secretly contains rape-related code words. Both things can be true. He's funny and bad. And hey, yeah, Epstein was a heinous monster, but maybe he was actually right about this one, guys. In Florida, there probably are more babies than good cream cheese. Having a baby is easy. You just fucking have sex like once. Good cream cheese, it took a millennia for God's chosen people to perfect that recipe. And maybe that's the problem in America. No, that's not the problem in America. There's much bigger problems, but the food does kind of suck now, right? A little bit? I don't think Langer's has their heart in it anymore. It's not even worth the price. Sorry, what is this video about? The point is, Epstein did not even joke that babies taste like cream cheese. That wasn't the joke.
It seems like they both partaken in the consumption of babies by these messages. It's literally so explicit. I'm not sure how you can read that in any other way.
This is just a reading comprehension issue, I think. So I don't know what else I can say. Just read it slowly, please. On the same level refers to frequency, not flavor. They're talking about the numbers of babies and the numbers of good cream cheeses available for purchase.
Why are the names redacted if you're talking about cream cheese?
The names are redacted because these redactions were probably like fucking outsourced to Grok by a team of corrupt and incompetent goons. The people behind this effort flagrantly violated the law just to be triple sure that they protected all of the powerful men mentioned here as much as possible. So it seems like they just sort of auto-redacting anything and everything that may or may not reveal unwanted information about Epstein's buddies. Remember that email about sending bagels to Noam Chomsky? It seems they actually tried to redact it and did once, but they forgot to block out the names in all the other duplicate copies of the same email. Oops. So yeah, they really are just talking about bagels and cream cheese, but Grok should not have even attempted to redact half of all this random bullshit. It's specifically against the law to do so.
There's millions of babies, very little good vegetable cream cheese. That fucking gives me the heebie-jeebies. By the way, I haven't even processed that statement.
Epstein's victims were not babies. Babies weren't part of this. The victims were teenagers and girls in their early 20s. Epstein was a humorous teenager pedophile, not a cannibal baby pedophile. A little bit of a difference. So I'll just leave you with this. I do think it's very important that we don't just gullibly believe everything we read on the internet about Epstein. If you start believing everything you read online, you're going to end up going crazy like the users of r/Epstein. Quote, is anyone else getting psychosis? One user wrote. Reading the files makes me sick to my stomach. It was already bad enough with the rape, but eating literal babies and saying they taste like cream cheese? Hey, don't worry, little Redditor. You are certainly far from the only one developing psychosis. So that's it for today, gang. As always, I'm begging you to get off social media, go outside, go kick a soccer ball or read a book in the park. And yeah, hey, let's just stop going on Twitter, guys. We don't need Twitter anymore. Thanks so much for watching until the end, and thanks as always to my wonderful patrons. You're the cream cheese on my bagel. Well, actually, I'm more of a basic bacon, egg, and cheese on garlic type of guy myself, but let me know in the comments what your bagel order is, and I'll see you guys next time. L'chaim.